Welcome back, everyone. Drake Hawkins with again for some more Ymir. This is day 2 of our first week look at Ymir. This is actually season 3 because we did this in the past, but we'll be doing a 7-day series here, and this is day 2, so thank you so much for joining us again. Hit the like button if you enjoyed at any point, and don't hesitate to pop down in the comments and ask questions. There are no dumb ones. Well, there are, but there's no reason not to. When you think of something, just go ahead and ask. If they answer it later in the video, that's totally fine too. So we've got an event while we were in between episodes. I didn't get anything done, just maybe a few minutes passed. Make sure we're on speed 1 here. We have a group of nomads arrived in Truffleton. They're on their way here. We can have them join us, and they're being chased by barbarians. So, before that happens, I would like to, unfortunately, that's going to be really, really unpleasant. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a little defensive citadel here somewhere and try to survive this event. We've been getting hit with some really fun, rough scenarios here. So when you select the military, it brings up this this map overlay, so to speak. And I want to do maybe 7 by 6, like that. And put a little, it's just a little defensive spot here, and we'll grab a door and stuff it in there. Right click to shut that out. Good. Now, my defenders, where are you? You're the militia. Can we add more? We can. Throwing sticks. That's javelins, and we can research those while people come in, but I don't know that we'll get it. Yeah, we'll probably get it done. It's a 43-second process. Okay, so what I need to do is upgrade this formation. We're going to need probably more throwers, or rock throwers in there. And can we add in any warriors, or are we out of people? I think we're entirely out of people at this point. We don't have the capacity to house this. See that? So we're going to disband that one. Oh, disband that one, because they're not going to house at all. Okay, so we got 20 people. The rock throwers will do the job. Now, I want to click on strategic tools. This is something that is important to note right off the hop. Can I get rid of the defensive zone? What's going on here? Why are you guys there? Okay, put you guys over here. Click you guys and put you over here. That's where you'll start. You're in defensive zone 1, which is there, which I do not want. Okay, let's add a new defensive zone inside the building here. There we go. There we go. It removed the old defensive zone 1. Now you can not be in pitched battle, because that'll make you run out and try to punch the guys, and that would be very disappointing. And then you can also switch to defensive zone 1. Good. Now they'll try to stay in the range inside those walls, because that's their defensive zone, and hit anything that comes within range out here. Probably what's going to happen is the dudes are going to come and they won't find the enemy that they're looking for. The asylum seekers, they'll find us, and they'll see a big pile of resources sitting out undefended, and they'll walk off with them, and we won't be able to stop them. But battle is commencing. Successfully completed throwing sticks. Nice. So next time we'll have some defenses to keep us, some spears, not spears, javelins to keep us safe. So let's see where these crazy bad guys are coming from. Probably not to the north, because that's just, that would be like the Bronze Age, sea people coming to attack, so I hope that's not what's happening. These are just more ruffians in the wild. I don't see the bad guys. Where are you, bad guys? Oh, there's the actual fight music. Where are they at? Oh, there they are. They're coming from the south cliffs through the valley. Looks like they're going to have to path their way down and around here, so they might get caught in a fight with us. That would be bad. Any militia that get killed are your population that you're losing. Right now we have 17 jobs available. We have 143 people, 27 active. So 27 are the males that are not piglets or seniors. I mean old pigs. Yeah, I really hope they turn right down here and go after some resources, just grab what they want and leave. At that range, they would have walked easily within range of javelins, but these rock throwers have a minuscule little range. There you go. Admit defeat. He's gonna haul off with our stuff from our storage and leave. Alright, that's fine. They just grabbed a few resources and left. I'm fine with that, especially considering we get... What is it? What do we get from it? Like 8 families or something like that? So we got a major boost to our culture. You guys go ahead and make like a tree and get out of here. Alright, so once they leave, we'll be able to start getting into the nitty-gritty of business for today, which is going to include focusing on population regrowth. We changed our lives from a to a sedentary lifestyle and settled down here, and it cost us a lot. So, knowledgeable traveler. This must have been one of the pigs that came with the event. Can you... Did I just freeze up? Maybe? I think we just froze up from the battle. Oh well, bugs and stuff. I'll be right back once it's through. Okay. Small technical details. We'll see how that's worked out. Were we operational again? Looks like we are. A defense of Truffleton happened and this event. Alright, let's look at the event. One day an old pig arrived at the village of Truffleton, his feet weary from the many travels he had made. He was a lonely hermit living and traveling alone for many years. He told the tale of an ancient people he belonged to, who perished a long time ago from a mysterious disease. Oh, let's stay away from us, please. That he was the only one to miraculously recover from. Fleeing away from his land, he also told stories of how his people used to live. Incredible stories about things they did that no one here had ever thought, I think that's supposed to say, had even thought of. There was much to learn from his teachings, as he seemed to come from a more refined and mysterious people. But the wonders and influence he gained amongst the tribe started to upset its most dominant members, who felt their position threatened. What should we do about it? Now, we can gain a random idea, or ban the old pig. We're going to do the random idea this time. Lose some loyalty in the village. What are you? Why do we have warriors there? Is that that's the warriors that just came and raided us and left. Alright, so we got the research for the Way of the Beast. Great. Elite warriors. 50 food spent on them. I feel like we will pause on that for now. We're not going to do that tech because that costs too much of our very, very, very precious food. They walked off with 15 leather, those jerks. Water in the ground technology, however, is fantastic. We don't need it, realistically, but we have the inactives to do the research right now, which we're going to adjust right away. Costs 8 hammers, 5 inactives to work on it, and that will give us wells. The defense of the city is a past issue. Now, let's get back into Truffleton and have a look at what we can do to fix the population dwindling and starvation and all those problems. Okay, we in the loading screen, we managed to learn the water in the ground technology. So now we can build wells. That's fantastic. We actually don't need wells because our water supply can come... we got a gift. Receive 50 loot. 15 loot, not 50. 15 hammers, that's pretty good. So I'm going to click on the rice, and we're going to adjust a few things to get us started on the food issues. I want 40 of each of the harvestable resources, which looks like it's rice right now, and corn I don't think is the other one. We have available people, right? We're gonna have to prioritize them and get them working. So the first thing I want to do is find this gathering camp down here and tell it to go from being regular priority to forever being critical top priority. Having food in the village is always going to be the most important thing. We have a hunter over here who also is going to provide food for us. We can actually upgrade him, which will be good. We can switch that to critical. Did I go high? Critical? It's just being really laggy. It's like that, but you get used to it. And we could use 1 hammer, 3 javelins, and 2 spears, or 2 wood rather, to upgrade this. I think we'll hold off on that for just a second. It spins! The trunks, as in tree trunks, can roll, making them easier to move around. But they're too long. What if we cut one into shorter slices and found a way to attach them to each other while they spin? we could move stuff around in a much easier way. They've discovered the wheel by watching how trees roll. So artisans are like in this case, our tool makers, I think, is the only ones that are artisans, and it's 4 wood, or 2 wood, or whatever number of wood that said. Alright, so, stop giving me things to interrupt me with, please. We need water and we need food. Right now, our water situation is less than ideal. We're getting less water than we need to. We could make a well. It has somebody to man it, and it can be brought into a defensive position, but I think we'll just do well. The water gathering spots at the water's edge here should be plenty fine for us for now. There and there. Now, did we do the fish sticks technology? Let's see. I don't think we finished that one. Let's look at our tech options available, or knowledge available. There we go. Do you like fish sticks? We needed 10 javelins. We now have them because we upgraded the tech. So let's go ahead and do this and get our hunters to work on this magnificent new technology. Spearfishing. The wheel is successfully completed. We have a new building here, the weapons maker, which we need to start right away. We're going to throw him right in over here, I guess. This is temporary. They'll all be moved once we figure out where we're going to relocate stuff. But this is going to use wood to make javelins. We need them super duper badly right now. So, stone cutters we could use, but we don't really need to right now. Let's actually see if there's another hunting spot. There's that one. Yeah, there's another one over here. I knew there was buffalo around somewhere, but that's weird that the buffalo have been walking around here, but this is the hunting spot for them. That's fine, I guess. It's gonna have to be right up here then. We'll put this hunting lodge right... missing javelins for it. Right. Can we finish that tech? Can we just go hunter 1 then? There we go. That'll do for now. We got a hunter 1 in there. Now let's go ahead and find our gatherer here. It did set him to critical. Good. These guys can be set to critical as well. Excellent. And right now, are you done on the builder? So the building is done by self-constructing for most early buildings. Builders we don't have yet. We haven't developed that technology. We get 1 point to the total 50 every 2 seconds. So when that's done, we'll have the javelin javelin makers, the weapon makers, start putting out some javelins for us. Then we can make fishing spots and so on. In the meantime, let's get our... There we go. Can make fishing with 2 javelins. I don't think I've got them. Oh, I do. I have just enough to make a fishing spot. Well, let's do that then right now. The fishery is right up here. If we zoom out, we can look around to make sure we didn't miss any in our initial scan of the map. They'll always show up when you're about to build a building. They'll always show up with those little icons, so it makes it super easy to find. Conversely, you can always switch to like a fortification map mode up here, and that lets you see things differently as well. No water in the bottom right? Doesn't look like it. Okay, there are no fish, I mean. There's lots of water everywhere. Let's throw the fishery down over here. Yeah, it's going to gather 0.6 fish, which is awesome. So how the resources, compiled resources work is that the meat and the fish, they're basically animal products of meat of a sort each. Those two kind of work together to appease their desire for meats, and then the gathered crops also work together to help balance their needs for those. So about those gathered crops, let's get that done. So much going on, and I'm not keeping up here even slightly. We have a massive batch of rice. Lots of beans up here, more beans up here. Do we have any other resources anywhere else? You would probably see them on the edges of the map by now, the icons. I'm just going to double check as we scan around, and it tries to keep the screen loaded properly as I go crazy on it. Okay, so we don't there. Let's go over here and plop down another one. That's another 0.9 in the rice, so we'll have 2 of those. That's excellent. Can we get a 0.9 on this bean? Yep. Excellent. And how about up here? Are we going to get 0.9 on the... Oh, it's a smaller batch. 0.84 I saw in there. 0.6. We might be capping out at 0.84 for these, but we'll see later how we're going to improve things. Yeah, I think 0.84 is about the best we can muster here. So make sure we don't put it on a actual bean crop. That's good. So we have 2 beans and 2 rice, both giving us 0.8. And more importantly, a second type of food crop, because they're not getting corn right now. We have prohibited the use of corn as to eat the seed crop for that, which is fine. Right now we are making rice at a tune of 1.2, and some of it's going to, yeah, each of these are making 0.9. Some of the, right, is it, oh, because you're set to regular still, right. Set you to critical, so they pull the workers away from things like making clay and stuff and get them making food, because that's the most important thing right now. Early on, you basically have to cover your primary vital needs, and then after that you can improve on things and go to adding in basic needs and then luxury needs and so on. That's our weapons maker. There's our hunter. You're in critical mode, good. And you should also be on critical. You are. Okay, so this guy has 4 porcos working in the hunt here, producing 1.2 meat and 0.4 leather. I want to upgrade this as soon as we have the javelins to do it. We are actually gathering at a rate of 0.8 for the javelins. They're making some pretty quick. So hopefully we'll be able to upgrade this pretty soon. We can actually top up the speed a little bit. The point here now is going to be to increase the effectiveness of our food crops so that this happens. See that positive? You click on the tab down here to go to growth. We're going to see the different growths of different groups. Sows, porcos, and so on. And you can extrapolate more information about why these people are growing at different rates. Old pigs are usually on the decline, or frequently on the decline. The overall growth here is every 3 minutes we get 1.6 now, 1.6 new porcos. And you're looking at this vital needs. Let's look at our vital needs by selecting one of our groups. That's this category over here. We go to, this is hunters that it's selected. It'll just, all of them have their independent wealth, their independent health, and so on based on the average of everyone. So all 8 hunters pooled together average out to this, and that gives them all the effect. If one is in bad shape, it doesn't affect it. But if hunters are really doing bad and sailors or artisans are doing good, they won't balance those out. The classes work separately. So I generally look on the sows, because at early stage, to me, that's the most important thing, to have more babies coming. More piglets coming, I should say. So they're getting 92% of the foods that they want, adding to their life quality bonus, which is awesome. And they have 99% access to water. So they basically can always have water when they want it, and almost always have food when they want it, which is resulting in a decent growth for our tribe. Let's see, what is this? Keeping livestock. Animal capture. Sometimes hunters manage to capture prey unharmed, or they find youngsters that remain alone. Other times, some herbivore animals come wandering near the village, seemingly indifferent to our presence. If we were to build walls around them and keep them near the village for a time of need, this might be good. This way, when hunters fail to catch anything, we can still have fish and meat for the tribes. Fresh meat for the tribes. Sorry. We would need to learn how to take care of them through the rest of the year, though, and some tribe members would need to guard them into pastures to feed. The grammar is questionable at times, both because I suck at reading in public, and the grammar was written by a French developer who's tried to translate it properly into English. At least that's what it seems like. It would give us safety of always having fresh food available for our people in case of shortage. This opens up lots of future opportunities, obviously, but we're going to go ahead and do that for sure. Now, one thing, when you select anybody, farmers for instance in this case, tell them to work for the duration, they will not be producing the food. So they take 10 lumber. If I can get that down, speed down to 1, please, just briefly so we can look at the crops. Now, we're only making 0.3 because all of our farmers apparently came from our rice fields. We don't have beans yet showing up. Is that because we don't have the manpower to house them? That is the reason. Okay. The dudes that we did have there are now working on that research. That's fine. Asylum seekers of Truffleton again. Okay. Do we have javelins? We have 7 of them. 8 families, 10 barbarians. We can prepare slightly for this. How close are you to getting us? You're making not a lot. I'd love to have maybe 10 of those. Let's go to the Truffleton Giants and disband one of these groups. Okay? Did that work? Disband. There we go. And then I'm going to recruit a new type of army, worker, the Javeliner, new type of warrior, the Javelineers. There we go. We have now 8 Javelineers. Now we got to make sure they are in the right spot strategically. Looks like they are both associated with Defense Zone 1. We can also select him to look at that, to make sure he's in the right spot. 8 families joined the tribe. Really? We just had a... And the Asylum Seekers? That's going to be fantastic. If 8 families just joined the tribe, do we have... Can we upgrade these guys? Can we add a few more just before the reinforce? Yeah, we can add 1 more. Alright. Keeping livestock research successful. Asylum Seekers in Truffleton. We're going to accept these, and we're going to try to fight off these warriors if they get too close to our defended spot. If not, they're just going to steal some stuff from us. And that happens. I'm going to zoom out of here, let them do the fight, because last time it crashed the game when I got into this, when the fight ended. So I'll let them get near and see if they're going to fight, and when we determine whether or not they're going to actually engage our units. Yeah, they're down here again. Same raiders from the same area. They liked the leather they got last time. They're back for some more. Seeing more people traveling up the peninsula here to find our village. The utopia that they have heard of in Truffleton. We have 220 population right now. That's fantastic. We get the Growing Tribe event too. Beautiful. Lots of stuff happened there. Now we get the Growing Tribe event. Gave us some more families. Man, we grow fast from these events. And then Shiny Black Stones. That's obsidian weaponry. It's an early tech Stone Age weapons. No, there we go. Boom! Look at the Javelineers taking them out. Yeah, you run away. Not easy this time. You're gonna hurt for that. All right, we're gonna slow the speed down. We're gonna go back out of the map. Way to go, Javelineers! If we had a 15 stack of javelins instead of 9 there, we probably would have killed them all off. It's fantastic. But now these warriors are going to infest the area around our base, which is going to make it increasingly difficult to actually find ways out here. If he lands here, we're locked in unless we sail around, which is something that's super duper duper dangerous. I'm going to load up this hills area to our southwest and see if there's anything interesting to scout in there. You always want to, at this early stage in the Stone Age, you want to be able to scout around and make sure you've got a variety of resources. You got your copper nearby perhaps, or you can find some sort of cloth, like if you're in the arid zone you might be able to find papyrus. If you're in temperate areas, I think you could probably find what's that stuff called? You know, linen. Cotton to make linen with. Looks like the battle ended peacefully and we didn't get lagged out of the game. That's great. We managed to kill 7 of them. They walked off with 12 hammers and 3... Oh no. There's another battle going on. Another set of barbarians are raiding Truffleton. Make sure the speed's down. We can't do anything about it now, so what is there. Once this battle begins, you're stuck with its results. You can't control them, you can't interact with it. You just get to sit back and watch the pain happen. I'm going to scout this map before we head back there. It's a very, very important part of early game, in my opinion. Is that a... Oh, it's an umbrella tree. I thought for a second there it was a banana tree. I always get those mixed up. Always, always. Banana is a resource that is available in this map. Always look like bananas to me. Oh, look, copper there. That's nice. I'm staring right at it, didn't notice. Well, that was barbarians. Got 2 kills. 2 of our rock throwers were killed, but we defended. Looks like the 3 turned around and came straight back to fight. Oh, they did not like that. They lost horribly though, the twits. Okay, so we got a copper deposit. I would say maybe a medium-sized copper deposit here. Trying to have a look out to see what all there is to view here. little water in the corner. Not much to speak of, but you could put a water gatherer down in that corner. Oh, there we go, tin. Interesting. So there's tin and copper here, which we all know makes for bronze, which would be very valuable. I don't think there's any... We can go click here and say fortifications. Oh no, that one doesn't show us that. That'll show us animals if there's any standing around, but I don't think there is. Having scanned over it once, I don't think there's any livestock here. So this would definitely be just a mining village in the hills. Alright, well let's switch back to normal view and get out of this map. So there's copper and there's tin there, but nothing else stellar. So we'll have to keep an eye on where the resources land and what we can find from them. Okay, let's go back into the village now. We got all these people, so we got a lot of new workforce that we can get working on the production of awesome amounts of food. So I'm going to do what I think almost everybody that plays this sort of a game does, and I'm going to draw myself a map. If I can remember the layout of the map. I need to look at the layout of the map, but the bottom left of us was the copper and tin, right? So we got to remember that for future reference. Now, where are we at on food production? I think all of our dudes should be doing fine. We should have made some javelins over the course of that time. We did. So now we can upgrade, which we were going to do before. We can upgrade. This costs 3 javelins, a hammer, and I think a leather. I didn't look carefully enough, but if you notice here, the staffing now drops from a max of 4 to a max of 3. So they'll actually produce the exact same amount of resources, but just with one less person, which is actually quite valuable for us in the long run. The capybaras there are doing nicely. They could be upgraded as well. What was the cost? It was 2 wood. 2 wood, 1 hammer, and 3 javelins. Not quite ready on the javelins. Just about, though. Just about ready to javelin up. Got another 5 to 7 minutes or so before we are done here, maybe 10. But I want to make sure our population is really working properly and doing what they need to do. We have 11 inactives right now. All the jobs are filled. Our population can't handle, our food production can't handle our population. So we're going to have to hopefully think of some new ideas, nudge nudge wink wink, to come up with better sources of food. Also, we can go here and we can say, you know, we need to do housing too, but we could say gathering stuff. We didn't utilize every bit of gathering up here. You see all this? We could build one, say, down here. It's going to also produce 0.9. We could possibly stick one near the waters here. That's going to get beans and stuff. If I put one here and then move this guy to, say, over here, a little further over, is that going to work? They'll kind of share the space, I think. No? Why did you not move? Okay, let's see how that laid out. That might have buggered up weirdly. Why are you not that's better. You'll probably use our space better there. You're doing 0.9. You're doing 0.9. And you're going to be doing... You are doing 0.9. Okay, so all 3 of those are working right. These guys need to be set to critical. Moo to you too, buffaloes. These guys need to be set to critical. Alright, do we have capacity to add more beans? I don't think so. Not a lot, if any. Maybe a little trickle of them on the west there. Not really worth it because there's nothing to stretch them out on this side. And we already knew that this guy was using every stitch of them. So, I think I'm okay with not adding another workforce in there yet. We're now down to 6 inactives. And we have some other things we can possibly do. We could do the animal husbandry thing and a butcher. That way we can capture any buffalo and whatnot out in the field. We need more javelins before we can send off a proper hunting group, though. Beans. forgot about that. We got a new food resource, so let's do that one to 40 as well. Now it's going to swap that stock from supplying 1.7 to the population. There we go, down to 1.3, and he'll take, I don't know, 100 ticks of the development of production in order to fill up that stock, but that's fine. Reason we want to stock those is because in the future we're going to use that to develop agriculture that's not just naturally occurring stuff. We'll actually do farming in the future with agriculture tech, and then we'll be able to oh, hello. Did not see that before. Did you guys notice that? There's a silver deposit. Did I notice that? I don't think I did. There's a big copper deposit and a silver deposit. Silver is a luxury resource for late game. But yay. What else? We have clay up here. We could do, do we have clay gathering yet? Flint, we have stone. We could gather stone. It's probably a good idea to start stocking a bit of stone for future reference. We can just, I don't know where like, it does not matter really at all where we plop this, because there's like a bazillion spots that he can get max resource. 1.2 is his max production, so that's fine there. I think we're going to upgrade our hammer production, because we'll also, those guys aren't just hammer production. In the future they will also be other things. Right now one of these guys at this level takes 2 flint, and he produces 1 hammer. So we need, for the 2 of those guys, we need 4 flint production. Right now, I think we put them up here, right? We have 1 there and 1 there. And 1.2, 1.2, and 1.2 gives us not quite enough, but close. So 4 of those guys is more than enough. Now I want these to be probably low priority. At least half of them at low priority. I think we'll do that. We'll do half of those at low priority, and then we'll do when they basically let them stockpile some extra flint for us. We're making 0.8 surplus right now. If we don't have the population for something, which is not true right now. We have actually every single adult is working right now, so that's good. We'll talk more about the conflict and loyalty and stuff in culture growth and whatnot as we get into it. Right now we're providing 88% of their vital needs. Is that just changed? No, 87%. Oh, we got an inactive. So we have 1 surplus employee is available. Do we have this upgrade yet? There we go. We can upgrade that now. And that will give us another surplus population. And let's, before we put in the cut here, I'm going to talk to the Truffleton Giants here and get them a football jersey. No, get them upgraded to have now 13 javelins. And I'm going to take these guys, these stone throwers, and we'll disband them. Militia is part of the effect on the loyalty and the conflict issues. Loyalty drops by having militia. It goes up by having armies. Quick and dirty answer to that question. Let's look at our housing situation. Do we have people underhoused? We do indeed. We got some people quite underhoused. We could easily use another 10 to 20 houses. Now, if we click this, it's going to tell us, we're mouse overing. It says 1 hammer there. That's how much it costs. 1 hammer, 1 leather. The number in brackets is how much you have in stock. So that's helpful to know. Can I fit this along here? I can. Let's just go ahead with another. We got slums in the way, but they'll move. The slums, they can, if you delete them and they still need one, they will just pick up and go somewhere else. They'll be sad that you knocked them out of their tent city, where they were trying to occupy Truffleton. But apparently, they'll just move over somewhere else and plop themselves down a new tent. So let's just delete those because we don't need them. Actually, it's faster to move them. If you move them over there and then you delete them, they move out of the way instantly. Opening up the space. But right now, there we go. Knock that out as well, and we're going to put in another house here, and now we'll have 60 housing for our 450-ish plus or minus some families. So that keeps that going. So We've managed to ward off a few attacks from barbarians. Those will get increasingly more difficult. That is why the last series way back when ended, and I put the game aside for a while, because the level of barbarian swarm that came at you was just too overly ridiculous. It's apparently been balanced to improve it quite substantially, so I'd love it if this guy could tweak out a little more productivity, but I don't know that he will. If he could grab those few, that would be good. If he did that, is there anything out of his range there? If I go, say, here instead? Does that work? We'll see if he gets more than the 0.5. We might even get him all the way up to 0.6. Let's throw another water gatherer down. Note, the water gatherers don't care if they're on muddy water or fresh water or salty water. They just work, and which is awesome. And they don't take any housing, any population. They're just there, and people go pick up the water they need. That's all. You can't store it. It doesn't give you a storage of water. No matter how many surplus water we're making, they'll never store water in this that particular setup. So you guys are making 0.6. Look at that! Haha! Great upgrades. You're doing 0.9 still, 0.9, and 0.9. I think we've capped out the absolute max on the rice. Almost capped out the absolute max on the beans. If we have surplus population too long into the next episode, we'll probably go ahead and do that. Get some more people working there, because we're still losing growth because we had all that boost of people coming in, and nothing is actually. We're not able to feed that many mouths right now. So that's going to be it for today, though. We can make up an army in the future and maybe go have a look at our map. If we have a standing army, we can send them off to knock out these jerks that stole our stuff. Look, we can see their inventory. They're still holding our 15 leather. Bunch of jerks. And we can head down over here to try to find those marauding buffalo again, which will be helpful, because we can stockpile a bunch of food, giving them kind of the excessive amount of food. Right now, we are actually stocking a bit of food. Because we have fish going, and we have 2 meat production going, just at this population, we just barely have enough to actually stockpile some food. So, but that's going to be it for today. We'll be back for next episode. If you guys like this format, let me know in the comments. And this is day 2 of our 7 days of this particular game. We're going to run a 7-day series this week. See what you guys think of it. We'll put it on the shelf after that week, and then maybe come back to it if it warrants a larger, longer scale game. Then we'll do that, or longer scale series. Then we'll do that. If not, we will keep it there until some major updates happen or something, and then maybe come back to it. But thank you everybody for joining me again on Saturday. You should be able to catch us on the stream on Saturday from about noon to 5. Hopefully I'll be able to get in on that again with a multiplayer stream with Sheraton. So thank you all for joining me. Hit the like button if you are enjoying these series. I'll be watching how people respond to these ones pretty focused ways this time. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in game.